Please help me to reach 1,000 subscribers. The text came in at 2:14 a.m., lighting up the ceiling like a flare. I can't do this anymore. I'm in love with him. For a moment, I didn't understand what I was reading. I thought it was a mistake, meant for someone else, sent to the wrong number. My wife, asleep beside me, shifted and breathed my name like she always did. I stared at the phone until the words rearranged themselves into something final, something sharp. I didn't wake her. I just lay there, listening to the house settle, wondering when my marriage had quietly slipped out the door. The signs had been there long before that night. I just kept sanding them down, telling myself they were nothing. She started staying late at work, always apologetic, always tired. Her phone never left her hand anymore. She angled the screen away from me, laughed softly at messages she wouldn't share, then looked guilty for laughing at all. "Who's that?" I'd ask, trying to sound casual. "Just a friend from the office," she'd say too quickly. "You don't know him." I believed her because believing her was easier than imagining the alternative. We had history. We had routines. Sunday mornings with coffee and burnt toast. 1,000 small memories I thought were unbreakable. When she stopped reaching for me at night, she blamed stress. When she flinched at my touch, she said she was overwhelmed. I told myself love went through phases. I told myself this was normal. The first real crack came when I found the receipt. It was folded in the pocket of a jacket I didn't recognize. A dinner for two at a place we used to save for anniversaries. I stood in the hallway holding it, my heart pounding like I'd been caught doing something wrong. When I asked her about it, she didn't even hesitate. "Client meeting," she said. "You know how it is." I nodded. I hated myself for nodding. Suspicion is a quiet thing at first. It doesn't scream. It whispers. It turns memories sour. Every late night became a question. Every smile felt borrowed. I started replaying conversations in my head, hearing the pauses, the half-truths I'd ignored. The proof came by accident. She left her laptop open one evening when she went to shower. I wasn't snooping, I swear that to this day. A message popped up on the screen, bright and undeniable. "I wish you were here instead of him." My hand shook as I scrolled. I saw weeks of messages, jokes, complaints about me, confessions about them. He wasn't a mystery man. He was her coworker, the friend, the one I didn't need to worry about. When she came back into the room, towel around her hair, she saw my face and knew. There was no yelling, no thrown objects, just a heavy, awful silence. "I didn't plan this," she said eventually. "It just happened." I asked her if she loved him. She looked down. That was answer enough. The days that followed were a blur of half-packed bags and unfinished sentences. She said she needed to find herself. She said she'd been unhappy for a long time. She said I deserved someone who chose me without doubt. I watched her walk out of our house carrying a suitcase I'd bought her for our honeymoon. For a while I was numb. Then the pain came in waves. At the grocery store when I reached for her favorite cereal. At night when the bed stayed cold on her side. I kept imagining them together, laughing the way we used to. I wondered what he had that I didn't. Months later she called. It was late. Her voice sounded smaller. "He left," she said. "I gave up everything and he left." I didn't feel satisfaction. I felt tired. She told me how she'd walked away from our marriage for another man. Convinced it was real. Convinced it was worth the cost. And how, once the secret was gone and the fantasy had to live in daylight, it crumbled. "I made the biggest mistake of my life," she whispered. I believed her. And that was the hardest part. But belief isn't the same as trust. Love isn't the same as safety. I told her I was sorry she was hurting. I told her I hoped she found peace. And then I told her goodbye. After I hung up, I sat alone in the quiet and realized something important. Her choices had broken my heart, but surviving them had rebuilt something else. My self-respect. My boundaries. My understanding of what I deserved. She paid the price for walking away from our marriage. And I paid the price for staying too long. But in the end I walked forward. Alone, scarred, and finally honest with myself.